The basis of electroneural interpretation hinges on the concept of using high-voltage electric discharges to map out the pathways of an individual's brain, and then identify the meaning of the various MRI displays to translate into usable information. Most common, electroneural interpretation is employed in military or governmental situations. In some areas, it is also utilized to extract a confession from a felon, or to identify lying on the part of suspected criminal. However, most attempts by external factions to implement such devices end as failures. Current visitor tech allows a much higher degree of accuracy from MRI scans, and current destroyer petroleum compounds allow interpretation to occur far quicker than with conventional computer equipment. We shall now briefly discuss the inner workings of an electroneural interpreter, commonly referred to as a brain reader. Before an electroneural interpreter may be used on the subject must first be primed. The priming process begins with the subject being seated before a screen. An MRI device will be locked above their head, and an image will be shown on the screen. A short while later the image will disappear, and the subject will be ordered to visualize what they saw. This process will be repeated until enough data is gathered to form a neural pattern recognition algorithm. Do note, while the neural pattern data has many consistencies between members of the same species, it has proven too inaccurate to attempt to use past data to predict the neural patterns of unprimed subject. After the neural pattern recognition algorithm has been acquired, the subject is then led to the electroneural interpreter itself. The subject is strapped to a chair, and their head is secured by a metal latch. The latch will also help later. An MRI device is then lowered over their head, and 2 electrodes are placed against their temples. The MRI device begins to read, and a high voltage, low amperage current is sent through the electrodes. As their brain is violently stimulated by the current, the MRI machine records their brain activity. After about 30 seconds, the current is cut, and the MRI scan is reviewed. The electrical current is meant to assist in mapping out the neural pathways in the subject's brain. After review, the neural map is paired with the neural recognition algorithm, and the end results are reviewed. If the results are satisfactory, the subject is further probed for information, and then later disposed of. If not, the process is repeated until the results are satisfactory.